And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very special update to you today. Once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you right here on Australian Indian Radio's daily live updates with the Daily India Report, which is coming your way as well. Well, right now, let's take a look at what's making headlines right here.
World number one Ash Barty has announced her retirement from professional tennis at the age of 25. Ash shocked the sporting world yesterday when she declared now was the right time to put the racket down and chase other dreams. Barty has enjoyed almost unrivaled success, winning 3 Grand Slams, beginning with the French Open in 2019, Wimbledon 2 years later, and of course the Australian Open in January. In Afghanistan, the Taliban has reversed a decision to allow girls to attend school. It means female students will not be able to progress past 6th grade. The girls' high schools were closed just hours after they reopened for the first time in nearly 7 months. There has been a sharp uptick in COVID cases across Australia in recent days. In New South Wales, more than 24,000 people tested positive. South Australia marked its 3rd highest daily total of the entire pandemic. Western Australia has set a new record, and Tasmania also saw a significant rise. Infectious diseases experts say the outbreaks are being fuelled by the Omicron subvariant, which is much more transmissible. And NATO is sending more troops to Eastern Europe as leaders prepare to hold an extraordinary summit to discuss the war in Ukraine. The US-led military alliance will deploy 4 new battle groups to Slovakia, Hungary, Bulgaria and Romania, but still won't put boots on the ground in Ukraine itself. Speaking ahead of the talks, the NATO Secretary-General told reporters the plan will be approved later today.
Apologies there for the background music, which seemed to be a little bit high. Sorry, that's nothing we could control. Well, right now, it's, as I mentioned before, that's the headlines for today. We might see if we can pick up something from our Premier's office later on as well. But right now, let's go to our Daily India Report. With that, let's welcome Himanshu.
Welcome to Daily India Report that brings you glimpses of the changing India. In our first story, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks to Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the phone and discusses the Russia-Ukraine conflict and bilateral issues. Modi reiterated India's stand on cessation of hostilities. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson both agreed that Kyiv's integrity and territorial sovereignty must be respected. The telephonic conversation came a day after US President Joe Biden said India's response to the Russian aggression has been somewhat shaky. The war in Ukraine is one of Europe's worst conflicts since World War II and will complete a month soon. In the Quad alliance of India, Japan, USA and Australia, India is the exception of not criticizing Russia. Japan and Australia being strong in terms of dealing with Putin's aggression, Biden talked about global punitive measures against the Kremlin. The UK has been building pressure on India for some time now, and earlier in March 2022, Britain had expressed its disappointment over India's stance on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Yet, UK said India remains an important trading partner and friendly nation. UK's Deputy Prime Minister and others have been prodding India and China on the Ukraine issue as both countries abstained on the UN resolution against the Russian invasion. On the bilateral front, Prime Minister Modi also conveyed his desire to welcome Johnson in India at an early date. The two leaders also discussed issues of bilateral interests in various areas. Modi appreciated the progress in implementing the India-UK Roadmap 2030 adopted during Virtual Summit 2021. The United States makes it clear that India is an essential partner for the US in the Quad in realizing the shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific region. Despite India's stance on the Russia-Ukraine war that President Joe Biden said was somewhat shaky, the US has clarified and underlined that India is its essential partner in the Quad to implement and maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific region. US State Department spokesperson Ned Price said that India, the US and several other world powers have been talking about the need to ensure a free, open and thriving Indo-Pacific in the backdrop of China's rising military maneuvering in the region. China claims nearly all of the disputed South China Sea, though Taiwan, the Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia and Vietnam all claim parts of it. Beijing has built artificial islands and military installations in the South China Sea. In November 2017, the US, Australia, India and Japan gave shape to the long pending proposal of setting up the Quad to develop a new strategy to keep the critical sea routes in the Indo-Pacific free of any influence, amid China's growing military presence in the strategic region. China, which has territorial disputes with many countries in the strategic Indo-Pacific region, has been opposing the Quad alliance since its formation. Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Dandias is in India on a two-day visit to consolidate ties and strengthen multifaceted relationships. The Greek Foreign Minister's visit is set to help consolidate and further strengthen the multifaceted relationship between the two countries. This is the first visit of Foreign Minister Dandias to India at the invitation of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Jaishankar visited Athens on June 26, 2021. India and Greece enjoy close and friendly ties rooted in a rich historical past. The two ministers will undertake a comprehensive review of bilateral relations and will also discuss regional and international issues of mutual interest. The two ministers are also likely to discuss developments in Ukraine, the Indo-Pacific region, the Eastern Mediterranean and other issues of international interest. During his stay in New Delhi, the Greek Foreign Minister will call on the Vice President and Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, M. Venkaiah Naidu. Novavax COVID vaccine gets emergency use approval for ages 12 to 18 in India. This is the fourth vaccine to receive EUA for use among adolescents 12 and older. The Drug Controller General of India has approved a COVID-19 emergency use vaccine by Novavax for 12 to 18-year-olds in India. Novavax is a biotechnology company that is dedicated to developing and commercializing next-generation vaccines for serious infectious diseases. An official statement released by Novavax said the vaccine, also known as NVX-CoV2373, is manufactured and marketed in India by the Serum Institute of India under the brand name Covovax and is the first protein-based vaccine authorized for use in this age group in India. DCGI has issued permission for the restricted use in an emergency for Covovax for active immunization to prevent COVID-19 caused by SARS-CoV-2 among individuals aged 12 years and older. Covovax is the fourth vaccine to receive EUA from the DCGI for use among adolescents 12 and older. The safety and efficacy of Covovax among adolescents aged less than 12 years have not yet been established. However, studies evaluating the safety and immunogenicity of Covovax for the age groups of 7 to 12 years and 2 to 7 years in India are underway. DCGI initially granted EUA for Covovax for adults 18 years old and above in December. In addition, Covovax has received emergency use listing from the World Health Organization as well as EUA in Indonesia, the Philippines and Bangladesh. The Government of India is opening up the skies to scheduled international airlines from 27th March. Domestic flights resumed in India from October 2021. The Indian Ministry of Civil Aviation has relaxed some pandemic-related restrictions due to significant improvement in India's COVID-19 situation to facilitate the smooth conduct of air operations. In an order issued on March 21st, the Civil Aviation Ministry said cabin crew members will no longer be required to wear PPE kits. The order states, quote, airlines may carry a few additional PPE protective gears, sanitizer and N95 masks to handle any respiratory infections related to cases on air for passengers as well as the crew, end quote. However, the use of face masks and maintenance of hand hygiene, sanitizer will continue to remain mandatory. Also now, airlines would not be required to keep 3 seats vacant on international flights for medical emergencies. The third and final relaxation is that security personnel at airports can resume with the pat-down search of passengers, the ministry said. During the process, the security personnel must wear N95 mask and sanitize hands after each pat-down search, besides following regular COVID-19 protocols. Daily infections have started declining from January 2022. Indian government says that while the world stopped travel and issuing visas during COVID-19, India's missions overseas continued to issue emergency e-visas to the people of Indian origin. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of India time and again relaxed visa and travel restrictions to facilitate entry of foreign nationals, especially foreign nationals of Indian origin, into India for emergency purposes. This was explained in an answer to a question in Indian Parliament. The question pertained to difficulty faced by PIOs to get Indian visas at the time of COVID-19 pandemic. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan said that even when most of the other categories of Indian visas were under suspension, the government from 21st October 2020 permitted all OCI card holders and PIO card holders having passports of any country and all foreign nationals intending to visit India for any purpose except those on tourist visa to enter India by water routes or by flights. He added that the Indian missions were also authorized to issue ex-MISC visas of appropriate duration to those foreign nationals, including persons of Indian origin who were not covered by the categories of visas permitted to enter India but required to visit India urgently due to any family emergency. Further, the e-visa scheme was restored effective from March 30, 2021 with all subcategories except e-tourist visa. Perhaps a Bollywood and cricket coincidence. The Indian women's cricket team, led by captain Mithali Raj, reaches the third spot in the points table at the ongoing Women's World Cup with a 110-run victory over Bangladesh, and producers released the trailer of the biopic Shabash Mithu. Bollywood fans have welcomed the trailer of Taapsee Pannu in the sports drama Shabash Mithu. Taapsee plays Indian cricketer Mithali Raj. The teaser shows her in a blue jersey with the name Mithali written on it. It opens with a houseful stadium cheering her during a crucial match. She is seen arriving on the field to show the magic of her batting as she is one of the most consistent players in the team. Sharing the teaser on her social media platforms, Taapsee wrote, "In this gentleman's sport, she did not bother to rewrite history. Instead, she created her story. Hashtag Ab Khel Badlega. Hashtag Shabash Mithu coming soon. Hashtag Break the Bias. Hashtag Shabash Mithu. Hashtag Shabash Women. Hashtag Shabash You." The teaser introduces her as the only Indian cricketer to score 7 consecutive 50s in ODIs, a 4-time captain of the World Cup team and the youngest cricketer to score a Test 200 who has been playing cricket for 23 years. Shabash Mithu chronicles the highs and lows, setbacks and important moments of the cricketer's life. Also starring Vijay Raj, the film is directed by Rahul Dholakia and written by Priya Aven. In breaking news today, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami was again sworn in on 23rd March as Chief Minister of Indian state of Uttarakhand. The entire top brass of Bharatiya Janata Party, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, attended the ceremony in Dehradun. That's all for this bulletin of Daily India Report.
Thank you very much, Himanshu, and the Gupta team, Munish Gupta and everyone there, very well done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today has been a little bit of a short segment because this morning we had the Lord Mayor's Multicultural Roundtable meeting. We'll bring to you all the details of that by tomorrow in the report, but it's been wonderful having your company. We will finish off with looking at the functions and events taking place here in Brisbane. But first of all, let's take a very quick look at what's making headlines. In Sydney South, they're going to be announcing the throwback book. New South Wales announces protest crackdown, which comes after a protester blocked a train line in Sydney southwards. And Dustin Martin takes a personal leave from Richmond. Dustin Martin is now taking time away from Richmond and is in doubt whether he will play during this weekend's GWS. Prime Minister warns Putin attending G20 meeting as a step too far. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has signalled his opposition to Russian President Vladimir Putin attending a World Leaders Summit in Bali. So, look at what he's doing and is willing to attend that. 2 in hospital after a 10-car crash on New South Wales highway. 2 people are in hospital after a 10-car crash at Taro in the Hunter region of New South Wales. And a woman has been charged after a man was stabbed in the neck on Gold Coast. A 53-year-old woman has been charged with an alleged stabbing in Gold Coast overnight. And police say nobody else involved in the Queensland dam deaths. One of the 2 bodies found in the remote dam in Queensland on Saturday was identified by police as a 51-year-old Daryl Smith, and police say there's no one else who's been involved in that. Now, these numbers, 19 die across New South Wales and Victoria as Omicron BA.2 takes country by storm. Now, this is something to look out for. Keep an eye on this. Overnight, 19 more people from coronavirus died across New South Wales and Victoria, while the search is underway for a Tasmanian girl who vanished from the backyard. A young girl went missing while playing with 2 dogs, one of which has also vanished. A push for pension rules to change to get seniors back to work. Now, we know there is shortage of workers in Australia, but is this going a little bit too far? But let's take a look. So, a push for the pension rules to change. The Pensioners Organisation is pushing for a change in pension rules that could allow older Australians to keep working, potentially filling record numbers of job vacancies. 6 teens have been charged with a matter over teens' extremely violent death. 7 teenagers have been arrested over the profoundly violent death of a teenager in Melbourne North. And Moderna gets to produce millions of mRNA vaccines in Australia. This is good news. So Moderna has finalized a 10-year deal for a new vaccine hub in Melbourne. That and all latest detail in tomorrow's news. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, as I mentioned before, it's been wonderful having your company here on the 24th day of March. Well, the weather out here in Brisbane at this time is 27 degrees. It's warm and sunny. So it is not a bad way to be. But right now, let's finish off by taking a look at all the functions and events happening right here in Brisbane. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your company this morning. And it's been wonderful having your company. And look, if there's anything that you'd like to see on the program, any topics that you'd like to discuss, if you'd like to join us via our video conferencing system, or if you'd like to come into the studios, you're quite welcome now. So all these avenues are open to you. This is your show. We'd like to hear from you. And if there's anything that you'd like to see changed on the program, just let us know. Well, until tomorrow, it's goodbye from us, and it's been wonderful having your company here today. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye.